What's up, you guys? My name is Dimaggio Voss. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm 19 years old. I started my entrepreneurship journey around 2 to 3 years ago. I literally started with barely anything to my name. I was mowing lawns. I was literally selling stuff at school, not that kind of stuff, candy, shoes, stuff like that. And today I'm gonna be putting you guys on the 5 best business models to start to get rich before 2026, okay? And a lot of people don't understand that it is actually possible to get rich within this time period. I know it sounds like, for 4 months, a couple months, or maybe 2 months. Y'all, getting rich does not have to mean it's already played out. It doesn't have to mean, but it could be, hey, you make your first 10K month, you get what I'm saying? And then that moves into January and you reach your first 100K, 120K. You get what I'm saying? Crazy months, simply because you started before 2026, okay? And if you're already in that mindset to where you don't think it's possible, that's on you, because I know it's possible. I literally went from mowing lawns to 8 months, 7 months later, making my first 10K online. So if you implement these same, and that was without, you get what I'm saying, having like good direction. So I'm giving you guys good direction and I'm trying to help you guys out. So make sure you guys listen, like the video, subscribe. But the first one, okay? I know a lot of people heard of this, but there's like a new way to do this, okay? This one is gonna be SMM capital A, okay? This is social media marketing agency, okay? I believe that's exactly, I just know it's a marketing agency. I know it doesn't have to be on like anything social media, but I know that if you're using marketing, obviously, where do you have to go nowadays? Okay, you have to go on social media. A lot of people are so infatuated with just literally trying to run Google ads or trying to run any type of other ad, when literally, if you know how to do this right, this can be a game changer, okay? And the reason I say that is because I'm telling you right now, everybody's starting a brand, everybody's starting some type of thing online, even if it's literally stores nowadays who are starting small shops and they need marketing agencies, okay? And they are willing to pay a crazy price for literally just a couple people. No matter if you're 17, 21, if you could show good results, they're willing to pay the price. But there's a certain way you have to go about doing this, okay? The best way to look this up and the best way to find people who need help with these kinds of things are look in your local area, okay? A lot of people are going directly online to like freelance or anything like that. Y'all, there's companies in your area who are probably want more revenue. What business does not want more revenue, okay? If you're going into them basically saying, hey, I can make you an extra 10K a month, and you have proven strategies that can make that work, it is possible that you can probably take 10% of that revenue or that profit that you profit them. And if you have an agency and you hire people up under you that can do these things, you can literally change that into a big, literally all kinds of different things where people will be working up under you and they'll be making money for you. You could have literally 12 different companies you're working with. How to go about doing that is very simple. Find somebody in your area, go find out about how they're marketing, and then implement something that can help them market better, okay? This is the key though. Don't turn this into something online. Find little companies in your area, okay? That can be in your state. Go to the other 45-minute, 43-minute drive to your nearest city that has a small business, okay? A family-owned business that needs more marketing. Show them that you can get them results. Show them that you can help other companies out, okay? Obviously, my best bet and your best bet is to probably just start by helping a company for free or helping a company for small profit on your end, so you could eventually move up and move with bigger companies. Now you're working with a different franchise in your area that's helping it get out there, okay? So it's actually possible to do this. You can eventually go far. This is great for connections as well, because you're starting meeting business owners. This is something that's very smart to do. But the second thing I have to say, okay, is this is one my boy kind of taught me about if I was not doing the business I run, which I'll get into that later. But this is aviation refinement, okay? This is something I was taught about very recently, but I didn't know how big of a market this is to get into. But like, and what I mean by big is it's not saturated, but there's a big market demanding these people. Okay, so basically what this is kind of like detailing, but for a whole, and you're not just cleaning the jet, you're doing more things, but it's stuff with aviation. And basically how people get into this is, like I said, my boy knows more about this. He kind of taught me about this, but I'm just giving you guys good businesses to start. It's literally, it does not take that long, but the difference is, a lot of you guys may know car detailing or anything like that. The difference between car detailing and aviation refinement is literally, yeah, you could make a quick 50 bucks with car detailing, but if you spend that same amount of time literally putting that energy into literally just cleaning an airplane or doing something with the airplane, y'all, you guys have to think of price, okay? Think about this right now. How much is a car worth? The average car you're gonna be detailing is like, you know what I'm saying, maybe a couple $1,000 here and there, okay? But either way, it's going to be the same price because it's the same compatibility. There's people who fly private every single day, and there's people who have companies that need their planes to go out, go in. There's people willing to pay tens and thousands of dollars just to clean one jet. So that's obviously you have to have some stuff to get into that. Like I said, y'all, there's a bunch of different things you could get into with that, but aviation refinement is probably the top thing to start, especially if you're kind of like a blue collar dude or anything like that. That's definitely one of the top things to start within literally this time period. Okay, it's everybody's flying private. People are getting richer. People don't want to be on economy anymore. You know what I'm saying? But that brings me to literally number 3. Okay, a lot of you guys don't realize this, but this kind of thing makes a lot of money. Clothing brand. The reason for this is because, y'all, we're in September. We're going into October, November, December. You have to realize, if we're in January, you get what I'm saying? February, March, April, May, you guys have to realize, do you not realize this is the time when people wear hoodies, where people wear stuff like that? You have to realize people will spend some of their, literally all their money, not all their money, but some of their money on literally just shopping. Okay, literally just shopping. And we live in a generation right now where not everybody wants to be literally just shopping at Louis Vuitton or shopping at this or shopping at that, but they still want to dress in style. Okay, if you create a clothing brand and you market it very good, I like to use organic marketing. I like to use the ring chain method, the push and go method. This is basically how you're going to scale this up. Okay, and a lot of people don't realize, if you're starting a clothing brand, all you have to do, if there's people in your area who maybe dress like that, anything like that, market that product to them. It's not as hard as you guys think. I'm telling you right now, literally, it's simple to start. You get this going. If you run the right ads, you use the right marketing, you will have customers on repetitive cycle. You will literally have customers on a repetitive cycle. And the reason I say that is because people will keep coming back. If you build a good brand around your brand, you can literally turn the average order value, AOV, okay, is what it's called, into literally the average customer spending thousands of dollars throughout a year. Okay, and that's why clothing brand owners get so rich, because it's not easy to get one person to buy your product, but it's easier to get repetitive customers rather than going and trying to find a new customer. Okay, yes, I sold to thousands of people with my clothing brand, but do you think that was me going and finding new people every single time? There's customers who probably spend about 3,000-4,000 on my website, many customers. Now you add that up, that eventually gets to 100,000 off 15 customers. So if you build a good brand around your clothing brand, people will be loyal and shop. Even though it's not designer, it can reach that level because simply the average order value is high. Nowadays, you can literally get sweats for $10-15. Okay, if you have a bro that one person is like, literally, if you have a bro right now, one person is good at marketing, one person is good at something else, get some sweats for like $20. You can get them made on Alibaba. Okay, literally right now, if you market that very hard and you sell those sweats for literally $80-60, I know it seems like an outrageous price, but people will spend thousands on random stuff. If you sell that, you're literally profiting 60. Okay, like that's money. That is a good profit margin to have when you're doing a clothing brand. Now think of if you sell those to not only not only 100 people, but 15 of those people come back. Sorry for my messing up, but think about it. 15 people come back and they spend another $100. Now you got another 1.5 simply because you started a brand and you built a good branding around it. A lot of people think it's just selling clothes. No, you're selling the persona with the brand, okay? Now listen, this is a different thing. This is something not a lot of people heard of. You could also integrate stuff like everything I mentioned in there. This is MEO. This is what I do. A lot of you guys ask what I do and a lot of stuff like that. So this is MEO. This is a little different than regular e-com. It's still, you can integrate e-com, like regular e-com into there. Obviously, when you're starting MEO, you start with regular e-com and eventually move to MEO. But it's just higher profit, okay? It's way higher profit. And the best part about it is for those who drop ship, it's not just staying with the same product for literally trying to ride the same product out for a year, for 2 years, because I realized this. When I was selling a product, I would always have to be changing around, switching around and stuff like that. And I would always have to be moving with the seasons. And I would always rely on a couple stores that would take up every day of my time just to make me money. And you realize when you're just doing regular e-com, you kind of get capped, okay? And the reason I say that is because the higher you spend on Facebook ads, the more you spend on Facebook ads, the more you're gonna have to keep spending, okay? And the more you market for that store or whatever, yes, you're targeting the same customers, no matter if you're doing organic or not, you're targeting the same customers, but it's never being really scaled up, okay? I noticed when I was doing regular e-com, you would have that really good month and then it would slowly just gradually go down from there. But this is MEO. So right when you build this store up, you're using the ring chain method or you're completely moving with it, okay? And that's what a lot of you guys don't understand. When you're using the ring chain, these little couple $100 products, or not couple $100 products, but you're selling these products in total for a couple $100 every day or whatever. Now within literally 4 or 5 months, 6 months of building that store, you're making 200K upfront with it rather than, and that's only if you do it right though. So you have to do it right. You have to make sure, and I'll leave a free training below about exactly how to do it, but you have to make sure you're using the right steps, because if you don't do it right, it's just going to be a big problem. You're not gonna have the right people helping you out with the ring chain as far as ring chain goes, but you have to make sure that you're doing this right, okay? But it's a little different than just starting up a store and selling a random product on AliExpress and then, you know what I'm saying, relying on that product for the next year, the next 1 to 2 years. Like, that's just what I realized is e-com is that. You start a store, there's no branding around it, and then it eventually slows down because you didn't really build a brand. Yeah, you can go on a branded drop shipping, but MEO is just way better because that's all of it in one thing. And not just that, you're getting money a little bit up front. You get what I'm saying, rather than waiting over time and then your storage slowing down and then it's over time. You have to, it's just something that's a little more consistent, right? Because a lot of people are looking for those kinds of things just to get straight into rather than building their own up. So it's a lot more consistent. Like I said, if you guys want to get free trained or anything like that, I'll put that in the description. Or if you want to apply to work with me, I'll put that in the description as well. But now we have the fourth thing, okay? And this is, I'm gonna explain why this is the best business to get into. Car detailing. Now, a lot of you guys are thinking, well, you just talked about car detailing and you said it's barely any profit. Listen, it's not about the profit you're getting with this. Car detailing is the best thing you can do simply because there's people looking to get their car detailed who are very rich and successful. You're not profiting by doing this business, you're profiting by making the connections. Now, you're probably saying, oh, DiMaggio, you said these are the best businesses to start to make money. Never said that. These are the best businesses to start to simply become more successful. When you're getting into car detail, I literally have multiple people who are hitting me up every single day trying to get their cars detailed. I have a friend who got their car detailed by someone and they're pretty close with them. Okay, so you have to realize all it takes is that right connection. Okay, your network is your net worth. But not only are you making the right connections, if you're doing high profit car detailing, you're literally getting more profit. Okay, only detail high-end cars. Okay, obviously you got to probably start with lower-end cars, but the more you get up and the more you kind of get your network around, now you're kind of in those group of people. But not just that, they're going to probably pay you more, everything like that, to where it's getting you good connections. And then I say, like I said, if you're doing car detailing, move in straight aviation refinement, because that's more profit. Obviously, if you do this for a while, you could literally easily make $8K a week doing this. Okay, don't only rely on yourself to do this. Get with a bro, do something like that, so then you guys could kind of build a team below you guys, maybe going door to door in nice neighborhoods, maybe reaching out on social media. But this can be profitable if you know how to do this right. Okay, a lot of you are thinking you have to do this by yourself, where, oh, you have to try to do the outreach and then you have to try to actually, you know what I'm saying, work with the car and everything like that. Even though you can be successful, if you find a bro to do this with, you can actually run it up. And I'm not just saying that, okay? Now the fifth thing, I'm not really gonna write this down because a lot of you guys gotta understand that this is a actual high profitable business, okay? I'll write it down too, but I want you guys to understand my words rather than just me just talking about anything. Okay, listen, this might say crazy to say, but start something with AI. Okay, AI automation, that's a good thing to get into. You can start an account and start posting AI videos on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts, and literally I know people printing off that. Okay, that's a good thing to get into. But obviously that's a little different down the road, because if you're not actually, you get what I'm saying, making a legitimate software, it's gonna be hard to exit that down the road. But if you're just doing something where it's like, hey, you're making little animated videos that you post on YouTube Shorts, you can easily make a passive 3K a month off that while building one of these businesses. So that's why I didn't want to write it down, because obviously a lot of people don't see that as a business. It is simply a business because it could be making you money while you invest in car detailing, aviation refinement, MEO, okay? And I know a lot of you guys are still kind of wondering what MEO is. It's a little bit complicated for me to get into this video, but like I said, I'll put a free training below. But other than that, y'all, it's actually possible you can get rich, okay? Don't let anybody tell you, oh, it's too hard, or oh, it's this. If you start the right business that is not tapped into yet, okay, these businesses, like I'm telling you right now, if you start the right business and you keep going with the right business, you can literally change your life. It is actually possible to change your life. I hope this helped. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. I'm gonna keep dropping more informational videos like this. I know this one was a little vague. You're probably still wondering what business to start, but you guys know, just start. It's not as hard as you guys think. Just start. I love y'all.